Hey everyone, welcome back to LAB. Hope you're all still surviving the extended lockdown and keeping your spirits up. I know it's a tough time at the moment and my motivation is dwindling by the day, but here we are and we're here to talk about personal branding. So I really wanted to talk about this topic because this is something that I get asked about a lot and I never deal with it particularly well, because when I started LAB back in 2017, I didn't really know what a personal brand was. So I never really took active steps to create it. I kind of had a concept of what I wanted to build, and I think now that I've thought about it, that probably did amount to a personal brand, but that wasn't the phrase that I had in mind. So whenever people ask about it, I'm never quite sure how to talk about it, but I've taken some time to kind of distill my thoughts on this and hopefully put together a vaguely helpful video about personal branding. So I've decided to split this into two parts actually, because although having a large social media following and having a personal brand often go hand in hand, they're not actually exactly the same thing. So this video I'm going to talk about what is a personal brand, why you might want to build one and how to build one. And then the second part, which I'm going to do in a couple of weeks' time, is going to be more about how to build and market that personal brand using social media. Before I get into the main part of the video, I do just want to highlight that it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and I've got a whole lot going on Instagram this week. So I've got the live lounge with Jodie Hill on Monday, who's the founder of Thrive, and she's going to be talking a lot about how she built this really unique law firm, which was basically to cater to women primarily, but also just to creating a better work environment in the law and creating a really healthy, happy place to work. So we're going to be talking a lot about mental health. Tuesday lunchtime, I'm doing a cook along with Samantha Hope from Shoesmith. So we're going to be cooking a very healthy chickpea curry whilst we answer your questions about careers and training contracts, or at least trying to anyway. I'm not that confident on my multitasking skills, but we're going to try. So that's at 12:30 on Tuesday. And then I've got loads of other stuff. I've got something going on literally nearly every day this week. So please check out my Instagram and join all the various live sessions that I've got going on. I also vlogged at the Legal Cheek Virtual Legal Education Conference this week as well, and the highlights from that are pinned to my Instagram highlight reel, and that was really, really interesting, particularly some developments on the SQE, so please check that out if you are in that bracket. Okay, now that I've talked about that, let's talk about personal branding. So what is a personal brand? I think the best way of defining a personal brand is to use an example. So I am going to use myself in this little role play example. So you've got two people talking and one person says to the other, "Hey, do you know Chrissie Wolfe?" And the other one says, "Yeah, isn't she the da-da-da-da-da-da?" And that line that follows is your personal brand. It's how other people would describe you. It's your USP, your unique selling point. It's your one-liner, if you like. And I think that is the best way of defining a personal brand. There's probably a much more academic definition somewhere else on the internet, but that's how I interpret a personal brand. Why would you want to build one? What are the benefits of building and having a personal brand? Well, first of all, I really enjoyed building mine. It was really nice to just have some time to focus on me actually, and my goals and what I wanted to achieve in life. And creating a personal brand does involve a lot of focusing on what you really care about in life and how you want to be thought of and what legacy you want to leave. And that's a really kind of rewarding and fulfilling exercise, just kind of trying to hone that. And I really enjoyed actually trying to build that concept. Another reason is that it makes you stand out from the crowd, and that is what everybody is trying to do, particularly if you are trying to pursue a career in law. I know this is a broader video, so people could be watching this for any... I know this is a broader video, so you could be watching this for any reason at all, but obviously I built my brand in the context of legal, so that's my reference point really. And if you are an aspiring lawyer, then standing out for the crowd is definitely something that no doubt you are trying to do. I also think it's an invaluable way of building a really deep connection with your audience or with your market. I think in this day and age where the market is so saturated with people and businesses and concepts and brands, it's so important to showcase your own unique personality, because that's what really draws people in. They want to connect with a person, they want to resonate with an actual human. And I think if you can get that across, you are much more likely to have a long-lasting relationship with your clients, market, audience, audience, whoever it is that you want to connect with, that will last far beyond whatever you're doing in your immediate life at the moment. It's also a great marketing tool. So if you ever do want to build your own business or sell a product, or for whatever reason you need a backer or a group of backers, then having a personal brand is a great starting point for building that concept. Aside from all those things, it's also a great way of giving back to society. It's giving something positive to other people. It's taking what you've learned from your experience, whatever it is, and feeding that back to other people so that they can learn from it and hopefully take some positive action from it as well. So how do you create a personal brand? It's super easy is the answer. It does not have to be a really complicated, groundbreaking, $1 million idea. I think that is the one thing that I really want to hit home to you, that you shouldn't overthink this idea of what your personal brand needs to stand for or what kind of the USP of your personal brand is. It should just be you. I think the absolute key to having a successful personal brand is that it's 100% authentic you, and that is the key to why so many successful personal brands are so successful. Is because they're genuine, and people can see that in the way that you come across, in whatever way you choose to build your brand. If people can see that you're genuinely passionate about whatever it is that you're talking about or writing about, then they can really see that and they really resonate with that. So I think the easiest thing to do is to start by looking at what your passions are. Why do you actually want to create this brand? What story do you want to tell? What message do you want to send? What advice do you want to give? And build your brand from there. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. You look at some people who've started their own personal brands, and these are particularly in law. I'm talking about Legally Run, whose passion is basically law and running. We've got Lil Lifter, whose passion is law and lifting. And these are not totally groundbreaking ideas. They're very simple, but they're very, very effective. And it's a really good way of being individual and being noticed, because you're showcasing your passion. So it's authentic, it's genuine, and it's also different, and people know what they're getting with your brand. You need to be able to deliver that message really consistently throughout every post that you're making if you're using social media, or every speech that you give, or every article that you write or that's written about you. You must be able to send that message consistently, tell that story consistently. And that's, in my opinion, the key to having a really successful brand. As I mentioned earlier, positivity is key. You absolutely need to spread positivity and kindness and uplifting content. Absolutely, you can talk about struggles that you faced and difficulties that you faced, but the message that you should be sending is a positive one. How did you get through it? What did you learn from it? Leave people feeling positive and good and happy every time they interact with your brand somehow, and that will keep them coming back, and that's what will build your brand and build people's faith in you. Pick a platform that works for you. This is something that I'm going to talk about more in my next video, but make sure when you are thinking about creating a brand and how you want to get that brand out there, make sure that it's in a way that you enjoy. You don't have to copy someone else and use the same medium or platform or forum as someone else. You need to use something that makes you feel confident and comfortable and happy. Otherwise, you'll abandon it really quickly if you fundamentally don't enjoy producing content or marketing your brand. Don't give up. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes a really long time to build a personal brand and build an audience, so don't worry if it doesn't happen overnight. Just keep going with it. A few ways I think my personal brand has helped me. Well, as I mentioned at the start, I've just taken so much enjoyment from actually creating it and kind of finding what it is that I want to say and the message that I want to get out there and kind of who I am deep down. I've found it amazing for kind of soul searching and soul finding. So I've taken a lot of positivity from it in my own personal life. I've also met lots of amazing people through it as well. Events that I've vlogged at, people that I've met who've got in contact with me from seeing my personal brand and engaging with it, and I've therefore met off the back of it, has been brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed that. So many people that I've met and interacted with who I wouldn't have done if I hadn't built the brand. It's also had a really positive effect on the company that I work for as well, as obviously having a personal brand and having a high profile obviously attracts more attention in a positive way, attracts potentially more clients as well. I've had a number of referrals through the personal brand, so it's a really attractive thing for employers if you are moving forward to perhaps a career in law, to be able to say that you've already got an audience, you've already got a group of people who really support you, because that's an audience of potential clients for your business. So it's something that you can really capitalize on if you are applying for jobs jobs as well. I can see this is already becoming quite a long video, so I'm just going to finish off with a few examples of people who I think are doing it really well. Again, this is within law primarily because I know most of you watching this are going to be law subscribers. So Eve Cornwell, I'm sure you know, she was in the Live Lounge a couple of weeks ago. Super successful YouTuber and all-round social media star. All of her platforms are incredibly successful, and you can see what she does on her YouTube channel. I mean, above all, her personality is incredibly infectious and you just want to watch more and more of her, and she's created an incredible brand and she's taken that to great heights. I also think Jodie Hill's brilliant, who I've got in the Live Lounge tomorrow. She's built this real positive brand around empowering women and making legal workplaces more enjoyable for people to work in and thrive in. So she's a real leader in that field. Gordon Chung, another Live Lounge feature who I think's been absolutely amazing. He's built his brand basically on giving really detailed and good advice to law students about breaking into law and about law careers. So if you don't follow him, you definitely should. And these are all people who've built their brands in entirely different ways on totally different foundations. So albeit there are some similarities that you will see amongst them, basically they've all got a very different story and a very different way of resonating with their audience. So you can definitely learn some things from these people, but above all, you must have your own story. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that's been helpful, and please come back again in a couple of weeks for part 2 about how to build your brand using social media. Hopefully I'll catch you at some of my Instagram events this week, but if not, see you again next time. Bye guys.